Hey y'all, it's Eric with Lion Lawn Care, back at you with another video, and today I'm going to talk about my Spartan SRT-XD and what I like about it, what I wish was done better on it, and my review on it. Basically, it's a 40-hour review. I've had it for, I can't remember exactly when I bought it, but about a month, give or take. But yeah, let's get right into it. Here we go. All right, y'all, here it is. I just washed it. The spindle covers over here, the foot plates over here, plus one of the, just waiting for it to dry, so I figured I'd go ahead and make a video. So let me look. I think it has, let me see, 38.8 hours, so just about 40 hours on this mower. And I did put the Green Guard HD version on here. I just put the switch right up here on the handle. Love this. I have a Green Guard on my Husqvarna as well, and I cannot imagine running a mower without a chute blocker on it. I do really like the Green Guards. I haven't tried any other chute blockers, but really pleased, really happy with the Green Guards so far, so that's what I went with the Spartan. Okay, so let's start with the pros. Obviously, if you've seen my other video about the demo, I love the comfort and the speed on this mower. I mean, it is ridiculously comfortable. There's a couple yards where I need the Husqvarna and I go from mowing on the Spartan and I jump on the Husqvarna, and it's just night and day, y'all. It's so much more comfortable. My back doesn't hurt nearly as bad by the end of the day. But yeah, just can't say enough about comfort. Speed, it's a very, very fast mower. I get done much quicker on a lot of my yards. Now, obviously my trim and edging and blow, all that stuff, I mean, that hasn't decreased, but my mow time has almost been cut in half on a lot of yards. And I do have a couple of abandoned properties that I mow that don't need trimming. And for those yards, man, it is wonderful. Some of them have gone from a 40-minute work time to a 20-minute work time, and it's just makes me much more profitable. I have a really big commercial property that is like 6 acres, I think, and this has cut my work time on that property down from 5 to 6 hours down to about 3 or 4 hours. So really, really love the extra productivity that I get out of this mower. Just absolutely love it. Now, there are a few things that, I could go on and on about this mower, y'all, but just for sake of simplicity and to keep it short, I'm going to hit a few of the cons that I've noticed and what I wish they would do better, and some things that I've done to help, especially cut quality. Cut quality is not bad, y'all, but it is objectively worse than the Husqvarna and almost every other mower that I had demoed. Now, but let me tell you something. Here is the stock blade. It's like a medium lift blade. Excuse me. See how they just kind of turn that corner up? There it goes, finally focusing. This is what came on the mower, and this is what I used for the first 10 hours of the mower, or from when I had it. However, I hope this is turned where you can see it, but because I'm not going to take these off, I bought some high lift blades from the dealer, and these are Spartan branded blades, but they're high lift. And if you get one of these mowers, I highly recommend getting the high lift blades. The quality of cut, at least in my area, North Alabama, you want high lift blades. It made a world of difference. The cut quality increased. I mean, just, I don't know how to describe it. It's very close now to the Husqvarna, and even better than the Husqvarna in some instances. Yeah, I mean, today my dad was working with me, and he was on the Husqvarna, I was on the Spartan, and the Spartan was definitely cutting better in that particular lot that we were cutting. But it was very overgrown. I will say that the the Spartan handles overgrown yards, overgrown grass extremely well. I do have the Kawasaki FX1000 VEFI. It says 38.5 horsepower, and let me tell you, I mean, this thing is a beast. It will go through anything. I've been through some very, very thick grass, some very, very heavy, wet, just nasty stuff that you would expect to bog down, and this thing just chews it up and spits it out. Amazing. All right, I love the foot pan. I love how, look at this. This is almost completely open. You can get in here, clean all that stuff out, make sure everything is working properly, that you got, you know, nothing's rubbing or whatever that you want to do. I love the soft start system. That's this pulley right here. It's basically, they just put a shock on the idler pulley, or the tensioner pulley, whatever you want to call it, and helps it start nice and smooth and easy. I have had 2 problems with this mower. Well, 3 problems, but one of them's not really a problem with the mower. So first off, the first 2 hours that I had this mower, the engine would stutter and act like it basically was out of gas, even though I had a full tank. And I don't know, and honestly, I had similar issues with this one. This is also a Kawasaki engine. It's just a smaller one, a 22 horsepower FS651V. So I attribute it to the break-in period. I think Kawasaki engines are made with they're just made that they have to wear in to get good compression. And honestly, the dealer thought it may have been bad fuel because it had rained like the week prior to me picking it up. But I really just think it was bad compression and just not getting good seals with the rings and stuff. You know, I'm not a mechanic, so don't quote me on any of that. And it happened a few other times. One time again in about 10 to 12 hours, and then another time about 20 hours. But since then, you know, knock on wood, it's been about 20 hours since the last incident, and it's been running very strong, very good. So jury's out on the Kawasaki engine, but it hasn't really cut off. It's just been coughing and losing a lot of power, just at those random sporadic intervals. But like I said, very few issues the last 20 hours, and I think it's kind of just finally broken in and it's running good now. So second complaint, and this is about the, 2 other issues first. Here, I need to open up the mower for this. Okay, all right, please ignore how crusted this is, but you see this little bracket right here, and there's a switch. That's the safety switch for the parking brake. This bracket, this L-shaped bracket that comes down in front of the switch, snapped off on my mower. So I'm not quite sure what the deal was with that. The dealer, when I took it back to them and explained the situation, they said they've never had a mower come back with that. So I'm wondering if I just kind of got a lemon, or if that particular piece of steel that they put in there was bad. Brace your ears, it's gonna be loud. So obviously it was replaced under warranty. The dealer just ordered the part, came in a few days later, and not a big deal. So but it was an issue that I had. Okay, so my 2 complaints that I would say could be fixed by Spartan in their next model year, or when they redesign the mower, is one, that I don't really like the deck height selector system. Now, I don't mind the knob, although it was very tight when I got it, but underneath here, there's the kind of mechanism. That bolt on the bottom, you can loosen that and it will make this easier to turn. When I got that, I had to use 2 hands. I was struggling to turn that, and I've read some people online have had that same issue. So if you loosen that nut underneath there, hold this top and put you a ratchet or something on there, you can loosen that. There's a little friction ring on it that will loosen, and then you can turn that easier. So like I said, I don't have a problem with this system. What I have a problem with is the numbers. When you look at this, you're like, oh yeah, that's 1 inch, 2 inch, yada yada yada. Nope, that's not what that means. 1 it's just an arbitrary number, because if you see, these are 1/4 inch increments, and I did measure, you know, how high the blades were. One is at 2 1/4 inches, and then 1 and 1 notch is 2 1/2, and then 2 3/4, and then 2 is at 3 inches, so on and so forth. So it's just an arbitrary number system, which on a commercial mower this expensive and meant for these, you know, meant for what it is, that's ridiculous. in my opinion. I don't mean, like, okay, so if I'm mowing with somebody else like I was today, and I say, okay, put your mower at 2 1/2 inches, well, over here they just drops the pin in at 2 1/2 because it says 2 1/2. Over here, if I say, okay, go mow at 2 1/2 inches, what number is that? They're gonna try and put it on like 2 and a notch, or 2 and 2 notches, and now all of a sudden they're mowing at 3 1/4 or 3 1/2 inches, and it's not gonna match up. So I mean, that's very simple to fix, y'all. Just change the printing on the dial. Also, there's no lock, like transport lock, so when you push the pedal down, it doesn't lock at the top. You push the pedal down, then you have to turn the dial all the way up, and then it stays up. But that means that every time you want to travel, you have to turn the dial, which means that you lose your height selection. Whereas over here, and on what I would think most commercial mowers, you press this up, it has a little lock up here, so it locks it in transport position, and you just leave the pin in where you're normally mowing. So a little bit of an inconvenience, and I think that design can definitely be improved upon, the height selection system, and put a transport lock on it where you don't have to change your height every single time. So number one complaint on this mower is that system. It's not a deal breaker, obviously, about the mower, but it is just something to be aware of if you are looking at these mowers. Number two complaint, I wish the gas tank was a little bit bigger. I think this is either a 9 or 9.5 gallon. However, paired with this engine, I did 2 tanks where I tested the fuel efficiency, you know, just gallons per hour or whatever. This engine is pretty thirsty. It uses 1.6 to 1.7 gallons per hour. Yeah, so even with a 9-gallon tank, you're probably only going to get 5 to 6 hours of runtime, which you think a 9-gallon tank, that ought to last you a couple of days, right? I mean, at least a week or so. And yeah, I mean, just something to be aware of with that engine combo. They do sell this with a Briggs engine, and that's actually the one that I wanted. But they didn't have any in stock, and you know, with all the supply problems in the country right now, they said they had no idea when they were going to be able, they could order it for me, but they had no idea when it was going to be in. They said it could be 2 weeks, 2 months, or 6 months. So I just went ahead and bought the one they had on the lot, and it is what it is. So nothing too crazy. Now, one thing that I do, another pro, something I really like about this mower, and I guess this is controversial, I really like this keypad system, how everything is just electronic. You type in a code, hit start, yada yada. Some people don't like that, they like the turnkey, but I'll tell you why I love this system. When the parking brake bracket broke, I was actually on a property, and I had finished mowing, and I brought it back in and put it next to the trailer, and I put the parking brake on, and that's when it broke. And then when I went back and cleaned off the deck and went back to put it in the trailer, it wouldn't start because obviously it didn't have the parking brake engaged, or it didn't think it had the parking brake engaged. Well, immediately I could look down at the system, and the red light was on. Where is it? Right there, over the parking brake symbol. And I was like, huh, that's weird, because the parking brake is engaged, but it doesn't think it is. So I tried the parking brake a few times, and I couldn't get the switch to trigger. So it's an immediate diagnosis. I mean, it took me probably 20 seconds to find the problem total, from when the mower wouldn't start until I knew what the problem was. Probably 20 to 30 seconds. It was really easy, I love this system because it makes it easy to find problems if and when problems do occur. Because let's be honest, y'all, it doesn't matter what brand mower you have, you're gonna have issues. There's gonna be things that break. The problem is finding what it is and fixing it quickly, and I was able to do that with that system on there. So really love that. And yeah, so overall I am happy with my purchase. I mean, despite the few little hiccups along the way, but such is life. So yeah, this has been my honest review of the Spartan, and hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks. Bye.